My name is Mike Liao, and I'm the founder of Orchard Community and currently an executive director of Orchard Community. The mission here at Orchard is to provide stable housing and life skills training, and also connecting to the community for young adult men who are at increased risk of homelessness. So the logo for Orchard is that of a tree. I love fruit trees, and so it's just a really meaningful metaphor for me. So the first of our mission is stable housing. The first thing that a seed will devote its energy to is to grow roots. So most of the work that happens, you can't see. It's all underground. And so stable housing is really, really, really important.
For me, the mission of Orchard is to help young men who need a stable place to transition into independence. They're coming out as adults here, and they're expected to just know and navigate this world with no help, no support, and no direction. And I feel like this seems to be kind of centered around helping people in this age range find acceptance, love, stability, and so it's a safe place to kind of learn. It doesn't seem to be as common as it used to be.
Stable housing alone is not enough because we want to grow and we want to flourish. And so life skills is our second aspect of growing branches, growing leaves, growing a strong trunk. And we want to equip the guys with life skills and for independence. So those include meal planning, financial literacy, employment, transportation, taking care of their health and figuring out how to advocate for what they need, getting schooling if they want. And so, we're not just a place where you can get cheap housing. We're a place you can get cheap housing for the sake of spending time to reinvest in yourself that you would otherwise have spent just working full time at a minimum wage job and not being able to really work on your life skills.
Some of the skills that me and Mike work on are like budget planning, definitely like meal prepping. I've learned like a lot of new recipes for myself to like cook for myself. Before I was living here, I knew how to like cook, like pretty basic stuff, but just living here, has kind of given me the opportunity to learn these new skills and cook for myself, and also like prep for myself for the week and stuff. But those are like a few things, like trying to work on finances, like saving money and just budgeting my money wisely, spending it wisely.
And lastly, about connecting to the community, if you have a fruit tree that doesn't bear fruit, it's not a very good fruit tree. And the fact is, I tell the guys all the time that I'm not the only one pouring into their lives, and even though I'm there in person, face to face, because there's so many other people who pitch in for their success. And so it's only reasonable for them as they bear fruit and grow to give back to the community.
Hello, my name is Matthew Austria, and I'm 20 years old. I've always been curious and interested about music since I was a child. And at some point for my 15th birthday was when I first began to learn music. Probably my sophomore year in high school, I became part of the worship team at my church, and I play the bass guitar. It's a really wonderful thing. Being in the worship team has done a lot in centering my life around community and centering my life around people. I'm spending this time in Orchard attending to school in order to become a nurse. I've been working at the nursing home for a couple of months already, and it's been the best work I've been able to get in my life so far.
Jonathan Loya, full name Jonathan Robert Loya. 25 years old. I just turned 25 this year. I'm trying to get into this apprenticeship to become, to learn sheet metal, the trade, like sheet metal trade. so I can eventually get into HVAC. But that's a really big goal that kind of started here. Like when I moved into here, into Orchard, that was what me and Mike kind of planned out.
We have a lot of supporters. It's impossible for me to do this by myself. We have a board of directors, and they're a group of people who ask me questions about the organization and also check in on how I'm doing and how the guys are doing. And so they basically govern the nonprofit. And so they help me with fundraisers, they help me make sure that I do things legally and I'm buying insurance, and also that I'm taking care of myself. We've had 2 open house events since we started this year. One was in February, just to introduce ourselves to our community, to say we're here and these are guys, please come. We really wanted people to come and see where the actual work happens and meet the guys where they live. And so the first open house, the guys were in their rooms and people just came through for 4 hours talking to the guys, asking them where they're from, what they're up to, what they're working on. And then for our second open house, we had each of the guys pick a skill that they could share. And so we wanted to give the guys a chance not only to feel like people are giving them something, an opportunity here to grow, but also give them a chance to share their own skills and teach somebody else something that maybe they don't know.
When you have an open house event, you allow people to like actually meet you in a level I couldn't otherwise. So like if I were to talk to you in person, like I can know so much about you by asking questions, by you showing me what you do. There's just like a really super big advantage to that. So I think the open house events are awesome to really just meet the guys, to see what they do, to see the house. I've never been in the house before, so like this is like really cool for me to be able to see like everything online actually in person. But those are really, really huge.
We've had about 2 open houses already. They haven't been too overwhelming. What's probably most overwhelming is the fact that so many people want to support Orchard, that so many people want to give and donate and see these good things happen for these young people in need. That was quite a good overwhelming to see just how people care about the young, care about the youth, care about youth understanding themselves and discovering themselves and having the means to just really grow up and mature. The fact that we saw all those people who were supporting us and supporting those principles was truly a blessing. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely surprising to me that there are so many people that are willing and just, you know, want to help and already helping. For me, it's kind of like, I don't know, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but like along the lines of like almost unbelievable, you know, that this thing is able to like exist because of the help of like other people. And yeah, I guess that's really mostly like how it can exist, you know, the help from other people. All I can really think of saying is like thank you to people, you know, who like help and donate or help out other places like this.
Right now, we're going to be doing fundraisers or open houses every 6 months. So attendance of that is fun. You can get to know the guys, you can come to talk to us, you can see the place and check things out. And you can find out actually in that moment, we do activities or things that kind of let you know what the guys' interests are, what particular areas they need support in. So you can meet a specific need. If you were like, well, I want to meet a specific need, I don't want to give money, I want to give something. Well, then you can always reach out to us and we can say, okay, this is a need that we have right now that is tangible instead of giving money. Time, money, love, and prayer. Those are the things that Orchard could use.
I think a huge part of how like Orchard affects me is just realizing for myself that like I have people I can share gifts to. And I think that's huge for me because like I believe like God has given me gifts and like I want to share those gifts. And like Orchard has been an opportunity like, hey, these guys need some help in these certain areas and like I know how to do this. Wow, like that's so awesome. Like I feel I'm like living out my passion. I'm passionate about marketing. I'm passionate about homelessness and like all these different things. And this has been an outlet by which like I can actually do something about it.
Well, I'm a board member at Orchard, one of the original board members of the organization, since this is kind of brand new. And I help with decisions on program, platform, how we're going to, what our goals are. I mean, I guess everything, because we're building this from the ground up.
So my role here at Orchard is a live-in director. So what that means is that I run the program with the guys. So I meet with the guys regularly. We meet at least once a week for about a couple hours to go over open items and their tasks. And then if some of the guys require more meetings, I would check in on them regularly. I also run group meetings where we have dinners together and do family powwows, whether there are some complaints in the house that need to be resolved, or just hanging out and getting to know each other and teaching the guys how to be community with people that are different from them.
Honestly, he's just a friend, you know. He's just him being there, creating that space for me and for like all of us here. He's able to like make time, and so that's just like something that's really nice. Not used to having somebody to like talk to, or somebody that's like really invested in me the way that Mike is. So yeah, it's definitely a nice thing.
What I've gained so far from Orchard, Mike is very present. He's very attentive and very patient, and a very wise man who is really focused on what is best for us and what we should be doing to establish where we want to be in 5 years. So Mike, he's helped me attend college. Here in Orchard, I've learned how to basically handle my financial life, how to file taxes, how to budget my money, how to pay attention to what you're spending and how to save money and where this money is going to and what this money will be doing for me in the future.
The history of Orchard it started when I was in high school ministry at a local church. I was interacting with a lot of young kids, junior high and high school kids, and I found that they were really lacking in parental support. And so I extended opportunities to a couple of the guys when they graduated and turned 18 that they could come live with me and to learn some life skills like finding a job, learning how to drive, learning how to cook, and those kinds of things. And so when the two guys lived with me on 2 different occasions, I just really grew a heart and realized this was a huge need. And I really wanted a house like Orchard in the future for young adult men who really needed extra support to gain independence. So in January this year, in 2022, 3 guys moved in here at Orchard and we started our vision.
Once you are in a safe place, hidden trauma feels safe to come forward, right? When you're in survival mode in life and you're just trying to get things done and move forward, whatever, you don't have time, energy, or space to deal with the stuff that is really bothering you. But once you feel safe and comforted and like I'm in a safe place, I'm accepted where I'm at, then all of a sudden it's like, I have issues and I have to deal with this because you're no longer in just survival mode.
Because before they would just deal with their brokenness by hiding or being really polite or just covering it up, but now they're safe. They feel safe enough that maybe they're a little bit rude or they're a little bit rebellious, but I see that as progress because now we're getting to the real person and now we can talk about what healing, what restoration, what growth looks like.
So about a couple of months ago, it was me and Mike. I was admitted into a psych ward hospital in Los Angeles, and I was basically treating my depression that I've been suffering through for a couple of years. And what Mike was able to do for me and what we have done together was figure out exactly what needed to be done for me so I can continue living a healthy life instead of being as chaotic as I was. It's been quite an improvement, and I've been seeing a lot of great development in my life, especially with my attitude towards people, my love towards people, love towards myself. I've really discovered an aspect of myself, like really meeting me for the first time. Without Orchard, that wouldn't have been possible at all. Without what Orchard offers, I would not have been able to ask for that kind of help at that time.
Because Orchard is really young, vision questions as far as future can be interesting. On the one hand, the immediate need is learning as much as I can with the guys about how to make this place a better place for the guys. So that's not too far in the future. It's quite immediate, maybe next year. And I've talked to organizations who have told me that it's taken them like 5 or 6 years to kind of sort things out. So that's, for me, that's super encouraging, because the first year has been really tumultuous, as is with many beginnings. It can be chaotic, and bringing order to that chaos is part of beginning stages of a lot of organizations.
I feel like this place definitely helps that, though. You know, they see me in a good, healthy environment working towards, you know, good progress for myself. And so, you know, all they can really have is support and joy and happiness, you know, for me. So
Mike is here to make sure that we're doing what we want to do so we can live the life that we want to live in order to then give to others what we've gained here.
I think in terms of future, I do think of two things. The first is just to have more guys come through our program and graduate with really strong sets of skills, and being able to experience what belonging feels like, being able to experience a home, that would be really rich. The second kind of future that I see, and this is just purely, I think, dreams. I've talked to people who are interested in purchasing homes for social impact reasons. So these will be private investors buying homes to rent back to people like the guys who would live at Orchard, but below market price. I would love to see many of such houses available, that when the guys graduate from here, they can move into such a house that would be more of a permanent location until they either want to move on to somewhere different. So those are some dreams.